I have been known to appreciate drip. I have been known to appreciate good quality. And so that's why I often find myself shopping for clothes at thrift stores. Now, it used to be thrift stores were only for like cheap clothes. But now thrift stores have evolved to where they're almost kind of trendy in a way, which is really unfortunate for the people who just are there for the cheap clothes. I mean, there's a group of people who go to these thrift stores and buy the cheap clothes and then sell them on eBay for 5 times what they bought them for. It's unfortunate, but that's just the price you pay for living in a society. But I have recently, thrift stores have become more and more junk oriented. So sometimes you'll go into a thrift store and you'll find really cool vintage clothes, or you'll find really cool knickknacks and stuff. And then other times you will find literal trash. Like, I don't mean garbage clothes. I don't mean like shitty looking stuff. I mean like literal garbage, like trash. Like, I was at a thrift store the other day and they had an entire section for just mason jars, like just mason jars. No lids, no like canning materials, just jars. And you might be thinking, oh, well, that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal. But I saw an employee put like stocking the shelf of jars with like store-bought jars. Like they went to Costco or whatever and bought a box of like 40 ball jars. And he was stocking the jars. Is that allowed? Is that legal? I mean, you could do that for any single product. These thrift stores have got it locked down. I mean, these thrift stores are brilliant. They half the time they get the clothes donated to them, so they don't have to pay anything for them, and then they can set the price however they want. You will have 2 identical jackets. One is $7, the other is $12. Where do they get that number from? Do they have like Calvin Klein in the back room deciding how much the clothes are worth? Or do the employees just say, it looks nice, I'd pay $12 for that. Or, it's not that good, I'd only pay $6. Where is the power hierarchy at thrift stores? Who decides the value of these goods? And most importantly, is there any limit to what you can't donate? Now, I know you can't donate food, like perishable items. But other than that, is there anything can you donate a car? If you have a car you don't use anymore, can you donate it? And someone else can buy it from, the thrift store? That's what I want to know. Because I would absolutely love to buy a car from a thrift store, get a car for $13. That'd be great. There's a group of people who heavily dislike thrift stores. They think it's trashy and, low rent. But there is gold there. There's not a lot. It's mostly garbage. It's mostly trash. It's mostly your old people clothes and, like I said earlier, literal garbage. But occasionally you will find something that you can't find anywhere else. Something they don't make anymore, something that you can't buy, from an online retailer. You find like a literal treasure. And that's why I don't think anyone should discount thrift stores. You shouldn't write off thrift stores because it's a wild card. You don't discount a wild card because it's a wild card. It can become anything you want it to be. And you just need to make the most of what's there. You sift through the mounds of shit to find the occasional gold nugget. I will admit, though, if you are a germaphobe, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it, especially if you're there for clothes, trying on clothes. You know, it gets dicey. It gets really, really dicey. And then when you get them home, you know, it's like the clothes have been exposed to radiation. You got to, like, you know, wrap them up in bags and, like, let them bake in the sun so that all the germs decide to leave, or they probably never do leave. You know, once an article of clothing has entered a thrift store, the tenants never leave, unfortunately. But even with all of that, it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk. You can go 100 times and not find a single thing, but it's like the miner walking away like 1 inch before he reaches the diamonds. You know, you just got to keep going. You got to keep going until you find something that is worth it all. Worth the struggle, worth the pain, worth the bed bugs and the rashes, and, you know, who knows what diseases you can find there. Or, you know, if you're more of a garbage kind of person, you can just go there and buy the garbage. Like literal garbage. Like I saw the other day, like a broken vase. And I know someone didn't break it there because it was in a bag. Like in a giant, like, Ziploc bag with a price tag on it. It's like a Lego set. Like they expect you to build your own vase, like glue it back together. Like, really? What is it, like a Ming Dynasty vase? Throw it out. It's garbage. No one's going to pay $7 for a broken vase. Yeah. It's a sad, sad world out there, folks. But like a thrift store, you just make the most out of it. So I want you to consider that next time you drive by your local thrift store. Maybe stop by. Maybe you'll find something. Probably won't. But you may find something. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.